Becca, what makes you feel the most vulnerable?
What makes me feel the most vulnerable, at least in this time of my life, would probably be how my boobs sag.
So real.
So after I had my baby, I mean, I used to have them much perkier and it was just like any outfit just looked incredible. And now I really have to just make sure that I am loving myself in front of the mirror and being graceful and gracious to myself and the way that my body has changed for the sake of like my daughter and being a mother now. And I'm like, there's so much beauty in that. Like, why am I so worried about having saggy chi-chis? So I'm working on it.
Hi, friends. I've been having a lovely day because every time I get to come together with my amazing friend Brandon here and the guests that we have on this podcast, I just feel rejuvenated and happy, and I get to co-create and have conversations with people that I admire, and I feel so grateful for it. And today was a perfect example of following my intuition on inviting a guest on. Becca is such an extraordinary person, and I knew because of her connection to Sonia, and I've had an episode with Sonia Ramos, so you guys can check out her episode too. They are co-hosts. This guy, do you see this mush down here? Oh my gosh. They are co-hosts for their podcast. He's just going to come into frame with me. We're going to do this together. For their podcast, Between Generations. And I'm so excited about their podcast concept because they're having real conversations from a multi-generational lens. And they're not afraid to deal with conflict and confrontation and get up and walk away from each other and have the hard conversations. And I love how direct Sonia is. And I just loved getting to know Becca. I knew that the conversation was going to be good because I felt that my intuition told me it would. And I'm listening more and more to that, especially when it comes to guests coming on. But I was telling her, like, she wasn't the most obvious guest for the podcast. You know, she's not in the beauty industry per se. But I just knew that there was something there. And this conversation exceeded my expectations in such a big way. And I'm absolutely in love with Becca. So, hi, Becca. Love you. Now you know. And I'm really looking forward to just having her in my orbit. Like, what a powerhouse. And you're going to get to see how deep her power runs. Just what she has accomplished through her production company, through motherhood, through now being in aviation school. Like, talk about a badass. These are the type of women that I want to use this platform for. So I'm so excited for this conversation. I hope that you enjoy it. Give us both, especially Becca, some love. Check out their podcast, Between Generations, as well. I'm so rooting for it because I think it's just a killer concept. And I'll see you at the end. Between Generations. Mm-hmm. And I just love the idea. I think it's so important to have multi-generational friends. Mm. I think that we kind of lose ourselves in our own little bubble if we don't. Yeah. And so I love the idea of just having this banter between the two of you and talking about different stuff. And getting to know Sonia was such a treat. We have seen each other so many times at beauty events and whatnot. And so I wanted to meet her other half of her podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks for coming to do this. And also just, you know, representing like the Latina community, especially in the beauty space. And I know that that's a newer space to you with working with Sonia and kind of stretching a little bit. But how has it been?
Oh my gosh, it's been a treat because I've just learned so much about how I'm doing things so backwards, like when it comes to skincare. So she's really just taken me under her wing, and I told her like,
and Sonia will put you in your place.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm like, girl, like how I mentioned to you earlier today that I didn't even know you weren't supposed to put toothpaste on your pimples anymore. Like, that's how backwards I've been.
It's old school. That's old school.
Super old school. But
when it comes to just being exposed to this world, I honestly have enjoyed it so much because I do come from the content creator space. However, I feel that even in that space, I don't think that people have known where to place me. And I don't know where I mean, I usually say like lifestyle, and now sometimes like I'll say like motherhood or parenthood, whatever, but or comedy, but I don't feel like I'm so really defined. Funny. Oh, I thank you so much.
We were gagging over your like Cindy Lou Who Christmas hair. I was like, oh, she's gonna be fun to film a reel with, because we've been like playing around with doing like, you know, the voiceovers and stuff like that. So we have a couple of fun ideas for you afterwards if you're down.
Love that. Yes, absolutely.
No, I'm glad that you bring this up, because I was thinking about, I always ask my guests to introduce themselves because I like you to put it in your own words. But like I was, you know, looking at who you are and what you do, you're really multifaceted. Like you're in the production space, you're in the content space, you're in front of the camera, you're podcasting. So like, I guess if you were to sum it up, how would you phrase it these days? Because it's ever changing.
Yes, it definitely is ever changing. I feel like that's what I love the most about my life, though, is that
doesn't get boring.
No, it never gets boring. I'm an Aquarius, true through and through. Anytime. Oh yes,
we like the Aquarius.
Period. We got Aquarius in the house.
Love that. Yes, and so whenever I start feeling like my life is just, I don't want to say. When it starts feeling like it's the same thing every day, I like to just spice it up. And so I feel like I am a mother first. That's my favorite role, like being able to be at home with my daughter, because I have a small business. I have my production company, and being able to take meetings and do most of the pre-production work at home with her being there has definitely totally changed how I view motherhood, because I did not see my mom that much growing up. So she was always working, and I really admired that about her, but I also was like, wow, I'm like really missing out on having a mom. And so I'm really happy that I learned from her experience, and I'm able to be there more for my daughter. So I'm a mom. I also own a production company. I also do a lot of content creation. You know, I do consider myself a content creator. Podcaster. I was in radio for 13 years, did every shift you could imagine, overnights to morning radio. And I
do
feel,
they still call that a disc jockey? Is that the correct terminology?
You can.
Is that old
you
school?
You can definitely call it a DJ.
I feel like I'm wearing this like 80s tracksuit right now, and I'm just like, we've got our disc jockey Becca on today.
Yes, absolutely.
Radio host.
But usually
Maybe
it's radio host
okay.
or on-air personality. Yeah.
On-air personality.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that for 13 years, and it was
on like radio stations.
Yeah. Like terrestrial radio, like LA. I started off in LA, which is like unheard of, because
That's
usually
so cool.
people will try to leave to a different city and then come back and get the job that they want. And I started off in,
good for you.
And
you
very, very
managed to like get your foot in the door without having to go elsewhere first.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was a lot of fun. I definitely felt like radio will always be my first love, but it also definitely made me feel jaded at some point.
How so?
Just because radio will, at least for me, radio never loved me as much as I loved it.
Ooh, girl.
Yes.
Tell me more.
I ended up just giving so much of myself to radio for the sake of content, but on shows that were not mine.
Yeah.
So
you're speaking my language now.
Yeah. So it was definitely like, it would leave me feeling so empty. And I would come every day with my glass, even if it wasn't completely full, I had so much to give. And then I would always leave so empty. And then at some point, I had to just, like, my man had to tell me, because I was pregnant at this point and I was doing morning radio.
Oh, man.
And he was like, you're coming home every day and you're crying. You have so much anxiety. Like, it's not even like you're messing with your body anymore. Like, you are messing with our child. And that was like a really hard reality. And I feel like that was my turning point. And I ended up quitting. And because I knew someone was making money off of my stories.
Yeah.
And I wasn't making money. I didn't even have health insurance. Like I was getting paid $18 an hour for morning radio and we were killing it.
Whoa.
So I was like, okay. At some point I had to just, cut that cord and then just decide.
Your body said no.
Yeah, because I was a fighter. I always thought like, oh, I'm going to be loyal to the soil. I got this. No, my body was just like, give up.
I resonate with that deeply. I will go so hard until like there's no more left of me to give. And I've had to learn the hard way that when it's not your baby, it's never worth it.
Yeah.
Like something that is yours, like your own podcast, your own production company, like I say go for it. Like pour yourself into it, within reason. But like you can bring it to the brink a little bit more. Otherwise, especially when it's a larger conglomerate, at a certain point, it's kind of just like, am I replaceable?
Yes. Always. It doesn't matter who you are always
how good
replaceable.
you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I fought so hard to prove how good I am, to prove that like I wasn't irreplaceable. And this is all, in my own own head, my own thought process. But I really had to figure out that no matter who you are, you're replaceable unless it's your own.
And did you feel this? Okay, I want to get to know a little bit more about you. So, did you feel this?
I will say for everyone listening, this is the first time that Becca and I are meeting. Which
yes,
these are the type of episodes that I love the most because it's really like the listeners get to like meet you for the first time with me.
Yeah,
so, just for context,
love that. So I want to get to know you. So. Did you feel this like on a corporate level where you were just working and then because I know that at least for me I strived to at some point in my life get into the corporate scene just because of that stability but then I was like oh my gosh,
always greener. I can't tell you how many people come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, Melinda, you've done it right, like starting with Sephora and having your career in corporate and like building. But I can look at other people who did it the other way around and maybe started at like smaller brands or started by building their own thing and be like, oh my God, you guys did it right. Like the grass is always greener. And I think it's so circumstantial and personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I've been in corporate for 11 years. I've been in 3 different departments at Sephora. And after losing my mom when I was 17, 18, I didn't know how to process or to mourn that. And I threw myself into work and just accomplishing and climbing that ladder. And I saw myself becoming the next CMO of Sephora. Like that was my goal. And it was during the pandemic when I kind of hit rock bottom and I had burned myself out so bad. I had absorbed multiple headcount. I kept saying yes to everything. I was not prioritizing myself or my mental health. I was that woman driving in LA traffic that you saw like pull over and slam her head against her steering wheel.
Oh my God.
Like I literally had bruises on my hands one day from slamming my hands on my steering wheel because I was so fucking done.
Oh my God.
But, it's a slippery slope and it's not Sephora's fault. It's not my fault. It's just learning. And I had to learn how to do less because I'm the type of person that will give so much. And it sounds like you very much so are like that too. And I want to give so much.
Yeah.
But you have to learn, I guess,
boundaries
where it makes sense, where you're going to be receiving as well.
Yeah.
To a fair exchange, I suppose.
Yeah. And you're constantly giving to a machine that you see as like full functioning and working. And you're like, okay, why is the machine working better than I am now? Like, why have I greased it up so well that now I am just like achy breaky, just falling apart.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad that you found clarity because I've definitely had those freeway experiences, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you still do occasionally, like shit still gets difficult or overwhelming. I think I'm very prone to overwhelm. But I still push myself really hard. Like I just came off of a week in New York doing all of the Sephora holiday press and Good Morning America.
Which congrats.
Thank you.
I saw that.
Thank you. It
We're
was really
rehearsing
fun.
in your hotel room. That was so cute.
I was like, I cannot fail.
Yeah. How did it feel? Like, did you feel like I'm ready for this moment. I've been preparing my whole life for it.
It felt good. It felt really good. When I was there, it was really comfortable. It went very smooth. I very much so felt that I was supported by whoever is watching over me. And it was kind of like a pinch me moment for sure. And I was just so happy I didn't mess up any of the product names.
Oh my gosh,
they're so long. But I really resonate with what you're saying. Like, and I'm happy that you've found your own passion, because I think people who are like us, Brandon included, we were talking about this earlier, who give so much of ourselves and we want to give 110%, like, because that's the quality of work that we enjoy putting forward. We're the type of people that need to build on our own as well. Like I'm still with Sephora and I'm still doing this as well. But you know, it's like, I think we need our own outlet.
Yeah.
Has your production company been that for you up until now? How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it. In January, we're going to be on 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been...
What do you mostly work on? Because you produce your podcast, right?
I'm like over here like, oh my gosh. I'm like 3 or 4 years. I can't even remember. We've been doing it for
Post-pandemic, I don't really know what the concept of time is.
So it's been almost 4 years. Yeah, it's about to be 4 years. Wow.
Congrats.
Thank you
That's
so
huge.
much. Yeah. So it's been, oh my gosh, we started off at the worst possible time because,
Like right out of the pandemic?
well, it was out of the pandemic. And also when I had quit my radio job, 2 months later, I had gotten selected for this content creator group through like Instagram Meta called Dale Tu. So it's their Latino collective. Yes. And our inaugural
I spoke for like their Hispanic Heritage Month event at Meta. I wonder if you were there.
Yes, I was there.
I facilitated the panel with, oh gosh, what's her name? I'm terrible. She's amazing. She works at
Was it the one with Remezcla, the girl from
Yes.
Remezcla?
Yes.
She has like
Yes.
curly hair.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know why I was watching her Instagram literally this morning, and her name is escaping me, but she's lovely. Anyways,
Yes,
so
she's
funny.
awesome.
Okay, so we've been in the
Yes,
same room
yes.
together.
That's funny. So I was a part of that
So
group.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome because for a while it paid our bills. Like it was the first
Hell
time that I
yeah.
had gotten a creator job outside of like radio,
Yeah.
right? That was just like create content, create reels, and we'll pay you per reel. So I was like, what? And
Hell yeah.
my man at the time, he was telling me, if we could do this for you, like we could do this for other people, right? Because he's a cinematographer. So I was like, you know
Oh my
what, you're
gosh.
right. And he comes from like movies and music videos. We met each other on a music video set. So I was like, you know what, let's do this.
Power couple vibes.
Thank you. I was not about dating someone in the industry because I was like,
Yeah.
get me out of here.
Fair enough.
But he's been the only person that I've been able to be like truly myself in this space and outside of this space that I'm like, oh, okay, wow, like I've found a real one, you know? So when I left my radio gig, we started doing production for other people, and I got that Meta job, and then all of a sudden I just didn't have it anymore because they cut off all of the budgets for at the time it was We the Culture and Dale Tu, and it was like the Black folks that had the We the Culture program, and then it was the Latinos that had Dale Tu. So we were like, dang, this sucks. Like this entire program totally inspired us. Like it
Yeah.
inspired creators that were on Instagram in like a way I can't even describe because everyone was really going through it. Like it was
Yeah.
pretty bad. So flash forward, he's like, my man, he's like, let's just start a production company. Like we invested in this like really nice camera. I was like, okay, sure, whatever, let's try this. And then the SAG strike starts. And that totally changed the trajectory of just film in
Yes,
general.
of
And we
course.
thought we weren't gonna get hit that hard because we were independent. But
Yeah.
no, it hit everybody. It
No
was
one was creating.
terrible. No, so for like 8 months we had no work. And I was like, what the fuck did I just do?
And you've got a little girl.
Yes, exactly. She had just been born. I was like, we were on, at that point, I was on welfare. And I was like, what is my life? Like, I fucking threw everything away. And I'm like, and for a man, for a boy.
Oh my
like, I'm like, this
God.
boy's idea. Why am I listening to boys, you know? And then he was like, trust me. I know this is going to be hard, but we can get through this. And then I kid you not, I really believe that things happen not by coincidence, but just, I don't know. I really think it's like what you put out into the world, right? Like even if the world like hits you hard, like it'll always come back, like and full circle moments where you're like, oh, I needed to go through that to be
it led
even
you to something
more.
else, or it taught you something else, or you had that aha.
Yes.
Yeah,
and so
I agree.
My best friend, she had invited me to her birthday dinner, and then another friend that I used to party with and be in like student government with from high school was there, and I hadn't seen her in years. And so she is like, oh, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. And I was like, oh, I'm all right, girl. Like, we just started this production company, but we haven't had any work. Like, these strikes have hit us so hard. And then she's like, oh, well, I just became a producer at Vogue. And I was like, oh my gosh, congrats, that's incredible. And she's like, send me your man's reel. And I was in my head, I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But she was like, if he worked just as hard as you did in high school, like I want to somehow hire him, right? I was like, sure. At that point, I'm still jaded by the fucking world. I'm still like, sure, whatever. But I was like, okay. So I sent it to him, and nothing happened for a couple months. And then out of nowhere, we get a call from her, and she's like, hey, we just had a photo shoot with Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj walked into like where we had like the Vogue photo shoot, and she was like, why am I at Vogue and everyone is so fucking white? And so that opened the floodgates. And that was the day that my friend, who's a Latina, got the green light to hire a BIPOC team.
I just got the chills. That's so badass.
So all it takes is one person.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then now my man is shooting for like GQ, Marie Claire. Like, yeah, it's that
This is
moment
huge.
totally changed the trajectory of like our company. Yeah. It was
And what
really
part
crazy.
do you play in that with
Vogue or any of that stuff?
in the production company? So your man is the one that's like shooting.
Yeah, he's the one that's
Are
shooting.
you playing like more of the producer role in like scheduling, booking?
Yes, all of that. I'm more of the producer role, but when it comes to Vogue stuff, I'm just a PA. Like I'm like,
because they have their own production.
Yeah, they have their own production, but I come on as like his personal PA. Like he'll just have me there or whatever.
Is
like
that
and
fun,
I'm like,
though?
oh, I
I feel
love
like
it.
that would be
Yeah.
fun.
I do. I don't care what it is. Like I'll do runs. Like I'm never too good to do any position, but I know them all. So
I knew that I wanted to have you on. Like this is how I started at Sephora Studios, because when they opened Sephora Studios in LA, no one knew about it. It was an empty studio space with a bunch of product and a mound in the corner. And I heard about it and I was like, I told my VP at the time I'm moving to LA, and she's like, we want to keep you in the Sephora family. Like, do you want to work at Anastasia or like what brand? And I was like, I want to work at the studio. And I got in there and I played art PA. I started an inventory system. I like set up the aesthetics in the bathrooms.
Wow.
Like I did everything. And I, to this day, stand by like, when we finish a set, you can find me sweeping the grounds.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm happy to, because when you show up like that, people recognize it and they want to work with you, and your reputation carries you into what's next. Like from there, I got to manage our YouTube platform and launch our IGTV program for Sephora Social. And then I stepped in front of the camera, and like they would have never trusted me or given me any of that unless I was willing to do whatever it took.
Yeah.
Of course, we have our boundaries, you know, not whatever it takes.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate meeting people who have that mentality where you can own the production company, but be doing runs.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's
And it's
how
funny.
we all should be.
Yeah, it's funny because we'll be on set and people won't know Ricardo and I, the cinematographer, my dude, they won't know that we're together. And then like, because we don't really act like it, like I'll do whatever he needs, or if I'm the director for that, he really motivated me to start directing. So that's been probably my favorite role now. So anytime that it changes
That's cool.
from set to set. Sometimes I'm his boss. Sometimes he's my boss.
I love you
And
as a
it's-
director.
Oh,
That's
thank
bossy.
you. Yeah, it definitely feels
What kind of
really cool.
shoots have you directed?
So music videos, short. I'm about to direct a short film, February of next year. So that I'm really, really excited for.
Wow.
Commercials, things like that. So he's honestly exposed me to like this whole other world. I've directed like a whole series of interviews for UCLA. They have a Latina Futures Lab, and basically it's for their Chicano Studies Research Center. So that's been my newest,
That's so cool.
I guess, like endeavor. I've gotten into the nonprofit world.
Yeah.
And that has definitely come at a beautiful moment where I'm just like, wow, I'm doing work that
rewarding.
lines up with my ethical code, which has been really cool. I will say though, being in like a director role, it definitely has like shifted the type of leader that I want to be, because I feel like, at least for movies, I'm honestly so tired of the white man intimidating demeanor that I feel like a lot of directors have. And I'm like, out of my like talent, right, that I have on set, and even crew, all crew, from the janitors to like my AD, I always feel like I get the best out of people when I am charismatic and when I learn everybody's names and when I make people feel a sense of love for this project. They're never going to love it as much as me, because no one will ever love your project as much as you.
Of course.
Right?
But isn't that like so obvious and intuitive? Like it just goes to show how backwards we all have it.
Yeah.
That like the standard is like an intimidating figure,
Yeah.
whereas you're like, oh, this works so much better. Well, it's like, yeah, duh. Like
Yeah.
people loved, and we have it so backwards, but it takes an intuitive person, usually a woman, or someone that has very nice feminine energy of sorts, to tap into that. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool,
I
and
think
I
so,
bet the
too.
crew appreciates it, and they're having a way better time.
Yeah.
And then you produce way better content.
And quicker, because people actually want to work.
The energy's right.
Yes, it feels good. And then, yeah, I feel like the pieces just fall together so much like more easily, right? Versus
Yeah.
if I was like, why would I be anywhere and want to be a bully? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Or intimidate someone. Like it's so passe. Like the intimidation tactics. We produce better quality work when we're connected and when we can like resonate with one another. I don't know, like anyone who's been on set before and has like sensed that just like someone's has shitty energy that day, whether it's the talent or it's the director or whoever, it throws everything off.
Everything.
And it's no fun. It feels like you're there forever. Well, I would love to be on set with you.
Oh my god,
That sounds amazing.
Yes, we should definitely do some type of
Maybe
shoot
one day
collab.
somehow we'll come together.
That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm just so psyched for you. I had no idea to the extent of which your production company has gone already. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And in such a short period of time to be working with Vogue and doing a short film and like, wow.
Yeah, it's
Hell
definitely
yeah.
been wild, right? But it's been something that I feel like I've been preparing myself for since I was 17, right? I got into radio when I was 17. So learning everything from like the bottom level up has definitely changed just my capacity for learning, right? And my appreciation for the art of whatever industry I'm in, right? So
Yeah.
now being exposed to beauty, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is another industry.
And girl, you're going to fit right in with beauty.
Oh,
I
I
see
think-
that Urban Decay moon dust on your eyelids.
Oh, actually,
Is that?
this is
It looks like moon
something-
dust. It might be something else.
I have Urban Decay the primer.
Okay.
But I don't know. Sonia gave this one to me, and it's like a K.
It looks like Space Cowboy
Oh,
moon dust.
oh, I know what you're talking about. One of my homegirls has that.
It cause like that moon dust, it almost like on camera under light, especially, it mimics like a glossy skin effect, even though it's like a
gotcha.
glitter.
Yeah.
It's really pretty though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you got the makeup.
I mean, I enjoy doing my makeup, but
Yeah.
I'm not like a do this, then this, then this,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
this type of girl. But I feel like
But
if
also,
I
who
needed
wants
to
that
be
anymore? It's,
yeah,
right
that's
now,
true.
Right now, especially, it's all about the messy aesthetic and like not being perfect and not having the perfect lineup. Like it's
I do appreciate that.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
real.
It's so
I'm
real.
sorry. Who's sitting in their bathroom with like everything perfectly lined up, like this step and then this step? I'm
no.
a Sephora Beauty Director and I don't do that shit. So
I love that. No, please tell us more, because I feel like when I come into these spaces,
It's
I am like,
intimidating.
dude, I'm over here with like cheap nail polish on. I've never been the type of girl that has been put together. Like I've always found.
But meanwhile,
Thank
you very
you.
much so are.
I'm like, I tried for this.
I think it's just how we see ourselves. And there's a perception that is created through the digital space that is very curated and unrealistic. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast. It's just unrealistic beauty standards, unrealistic life standards.
Yeah.
And it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think the more real and raw you can be when you're on camera, as you are and as Sonia is, and why I'm so excited about your guys' podcast is for that very reason. It's like, yes, more like real Latino women just doing the damn thing, like saying what's on their mind. Like, that's what people want to connect with.
Yeah.
Like, we're so done with everything else is like back in the early 2000s.
I agree, because I tried really hard to fit that aesthetic and I could not. I think one of the things that for me has been one of the hardest beauty standards to just put on the back, like to throw out and to really dive into the type of person that I am, is like falling in love with asymmetry. Like I feel like everybody looks so beautifully symmetrical and I have never had a face like that. Like ever. Like I was born with a lazy eye, right? So I was already like, fuck, like, and then
We are
just, like,
so obsessed with symmetry.
right?
Yeah.
What I loved hearing y'all talk about was, it sounds like, we're all, and you both are artists, and sometimes it feels like that passion or that love is what burns us out, but it's not the art itself. It's actually just the industry.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that, like, also you're in the industry actively trying to change it, not just for you, but for all those that haven't had the chance before to be in those doors and in those rooms. So
Yes, we want. If I may speak on behalf of the beauty industry, I would like to say,
absolutely, queen. Yes, I give you the green light, which is not that much credibility.
we're very credible here. I would like to welcome you with open arms because we need more people who, again, like you and Sonia, is just like that are gonna call out shit. Like, what is this obsession with symmetry? Like, why does it matter? Like, why have we created these standards that we hold ourselves to like it's life or death?
Yeah, right.
When it doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, the more symmetrical and the more similar everybody looks, the less beautiful everybody becomes in my eyes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in the thick of working on the social media team and in the thick of really entering the beauty content space and working with influencers and going to all the beauty events. I used to go to all of the beauty events and create Instagram stories for Sephora's Instagram. So I would just be there to like cover it.
That's a lot of work, girl.
It was so much work.
I've done that for radio.
I've done like 5 head count in every job
Wow.
at this company.
This is why you
But
know
no.
how to do, the ins and outs of all of it.
You learn. I've got to wear a lot of hats, and it's brought me to be able to run my own podcast and really do this basically on my own. So I'm grateful for it. But I remember diving into it and starting that comparison bullshit, becoming obsessed with someone that I think is beautiful, and then like trying to get what they get because I want to look like them, or like, and then I started to like fuck around with filler and like different more cosmetic dermatology type stuff. And I did Kybella like I didn't need to do any of that. And I spent so much money, and like the Kybella was like downtime and everything. And I just remember I went to my derm at the time, cosmetic dermatologist, and thank God for her because they were doing it was really popular to get filler for your nose to like take the bump out. Oh. Like they can do like a fake nose job with filler. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm really curious about this. It was always a curiosity, but a lot of comparison too at that time. And she was like, Melinda, if you change your nose and try and like perfect it, you're going to lose the unique qualities to your face.
Yeah.
Because at the time I had under eye filler, and that starts to create like a high cheekbone, that like alien effect that like every influencer has. I haven't done it in like many years, so it doesn't exist on my face anymore. I don't have that appearance anymore. But when I look back at photos and videos, I'm like, I was starting to morph into what everyone else looked like. And to me, I became less beautiful because I was just becoming like a carbon copy.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me want to cry. Like,
It's
I
true.
feel like
It's so true.
it makes me very terrified because I'm a mom now. So
Yeah, to a little girl too.
yes, and I feel like it is so important for me to remind myself how much I love myself in the mirror is how she's gonna see herself, right? So
Oof,
I
yeah.
agree with you on the whole, like, we are obsessed with symmetry. And I'm not even gonna talk smack because if I see a symmetrical person, I'm like, wow, that person is beautiful.
Yeah.
But I also love people's unique qualities that I'm just like, wow, you are truly one of one.
Yeah.
Like, why are we so obsessed with wanting to look like each other or look like this carbon copy or this mold, right? That has been quote unquote perfected. And I agree with that lady. I'm really happy that you had that source that
I
told
am
you
so grateful for
don't
that moment.
change.
It just like clicked, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And then like since then, I've had such beautiful conversations. Like I have a resident therapist for the podcast. Her name's Dr. Christine Coleman.
Love that.
And so we have episodes where we kind of unpack some of the subjects that come up, or people will write in. And one thing that we were talking about was, what was the topic? I think it was around body image, but she pointed out her nose, and she was like, this nose, it represents the longest line of a strong female lineage in my family that I am continuing on. Like this is, it shows where we came from and who we are, and why would I want to take that away?
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it's just since that moment for me, it's continued to be validated and validated, and so much so that like now it's a huge part of what I'm trying to change and shift within the industry through this podcast is like, let's get away from those beauty standards and talk about what beauty actually means.
Yeah.
Because it's personal. We get to decide.
And who had to come together and in some way, shape, or form create love to create me, right?
Yeah.
So like your eyebrows, oh my gosh, girl, your eyebrows, beautiful. Your nose,
you.
beautiful. Your nose reminds me of one of my really close homegirls. She has a bump on her nose, and she posted, she was like, this shit is ancestral.
Yes,
And if you don't like it, you don't have
exactly.
to look at me.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that's true. Like all of the stuff in my face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Sonia really has helped me love. And shout out to Sonia Ramos,
Yeah, we love
the
Sonia.
other host of Between Generations. I'm over here forgetting the podcast. Jesus, she's gonna be like, you had one job, bitch. So she has taught me how to love myself in ways that I never ever imagined. Sorry, I know.
No,
I'm
you
a
didn't do
loud-ass
anything
girl.
wrong. I think it was more the framing.
Oh, gotcha.
We're
Thank
just
you.
keeping you well lit.
Period. Thank you. And I have never met anyone, at least like in her age, her generation, that has loved on themselves as hard as she has.
And she
has,
deserves it.
Yes, and she has used her like battle scars as like almost just like
Fuel.
but also just like medals of honor, right? Like I went through this, I went through the trenches, and I got out, and you can too. And why are we so obsessed with like how we look outwardly? Let's talk about like the shit that's going on inside
Yeah.
that actually really hurts or is very uncomfortable or is, because as much as what you see outside can make you feel uncomfortable, like laugh lines, like, these imperfections that you have on your face, pimples, whatever, that like what's going on the inside really is a totally different type of pain, right? And it's something that I'm like, wow, she's putting me up on game, and I'm gonna be experiencing perimenopause in like probably the next decade or so, right? So I'm like, if I'm already preparing myself mentally, imagine how much more powerful I'm going to feel knowing that I am well prepared for this moment, right? For this next chapter of my life.
Yep.
So I've never ever experienced like a woman aside from like my sister or my mom that has given me tools like that so fearlessly, right? So it's been really cool. So now
Hell
that you're
yeah.
saying like all of these things about stuff that you have done, like your younger self has done to her face, and now you're
Yeah.
just like, that's not me anymore.
No.
I think that is so incredibly powerful that you can admit it.
Yeah.
And you're not afraid to admit
Well,
it,
and
right?
look, don't get me wrong, girl. I still do my Botox. I dissolved all of my lip filler, but I put a little bit back in. It's not like I don't do anything, but where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's different
the
how you're
choice
doing
where
it.
I'm making it. It's like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna experiment with this and see if I like it. It's not like I want to change the way I look because I don't feel like I'm pretty enough.
Yeah.
Like it's coming from a place of like real enthusiasm. Like I'm
Yeah.
having a good time with it, and I really sense that difference.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think all beauty needs to stem from, whether it's makeup, skincare, hair care,
Yeah.
or cosmetic procedures. What you're doing needs to come from a place of self-love
Mm-hmm.
and confidence, not from a place of trying to change yourself or hiding.
It's like a haircut.
Yeah,
You're like, I want to try this out.
exactly.
Let's see how I'm gonna look.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever you
Period.
want.
I love that.
I'm like, whatever someone wants to do, I am all about it. I just want it to come from a healthy place.
Yes,
And there's
absolutely.
there's a distinct differentiation there.
Yeah, because if you start diving into something because you don't like who you are, you're not really hitting it at its core, right? You're gonna keep doing things because you're not liking the change.
The goalpost just keeps moving. It's the same
Right?
thing with our careers,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my
I
God,
know
girl. Yeah.
we're overachievers. I think all three of us in this room are overachievers. And the goalpost will keep on moving. You have to enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same thing with beauty. It's not like, oh, let me fix this. It's like, let's enjoy it. Like, let's enjoy
Yeah.
trying this highlighter or this foundation or not wearing makeup at all. Or But I think what's so cool about your podcast with Sonia, your relationship with Sonia, and then also your relationship with your daughter and what you're sharing with all the generations of women who are going to be listening to your podcast is she's going to be able to speak from a place of experience. And I think you're going to be, and still she's going through things. We always do. We change until the day we die if we're doing this life thing right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, you're going to be able to share through the process of what she's already been through. And I think what's so important for people who are putting themselves out there to do is share through the process versus once you're finished with the process. Because it's beautiful to say, this happened to me, this is how I got through it, and this is where I am now. I think that's amazing. It's still vulnerable. I still very much so applaud it. But what I think we need more of is people who are willing to get that vulnerable when they're in the thick of the shit. Where they're not like, that happened to me in the past, now I'm done with it. I'm in the middle of this. I haven't figured it out yet, and that's okay. Like,
Girl, okay, all right. You know what? I feel kind of like you're kind of calling me out because I'm at this,
really?
I'm at this point in my life
Tell me.
where I know you asked me about like all of the things that I do, but I left out one thing because I'm very much in the thick of it.
Oh shit! I did call your ass out.
You're like, spit it out, bitch. So I right now,
I
I
love
just
this.
went back to school.
Okay.
And I'm studying aviation. And I talk a little bit about it, like on the podcast.
Gagged.
Just a tad.
Aviation?
Yes. But I am
Badass.
totally scared of like telling anybody because I don't have my private pilot license yet.
We're
And
hard
then
launching it right now.
Girl. I'm like, oh my God.
This is so cool.
It has been such a challenge, and I'm right now in ground school. I'm going to take it's called the FAA written test, where it's like the government test for you to be able to get your private pilot license. And then once I take that, I'm applying for the scholarship to start flight school.
Okay.
But I have been so scared to tell anybody about it just because I think this has a lot to do with like the inner child work that I have yet to do. I've done a lot, but it's this part of myself where I know we mentioned before too, being overachievers. If I have not achieved this title yet, I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to state that I'm on the journey toward it, right? Yeah. It's something that I know is like, it sounds silly.
No, it's not silly. I think so many people will resonate deeply with what you just said, because take aviation school and substitute it with anything else that someone is trying to work towards.
I feel you deep.
Yeah.
As an actor, you know?
As an actor, that's a great example.
You're putting in the effort and work every single day, every audition, yada, yada. And I think that there's not a lot of credit that goes to the trying and the doing and the school part of it. Because, a lot of people see like, I won't be able to say that I'm doing this until I've already won and I've graduated and I've finished everything.
Yeah.
But the whole part of you being a mom, having your own production company and going back to school at the same time, I think that's even more astounding than just when you do happen to finish.
100%.
Thank you so much, and congrats on being an actor.
Yes.
Okay, this is a role I did not know.
Brandon is like the most multi-hyphenate like powerhouse.
Wow.
And
Can
this
do
is what
so many
community
things.
does, is it lifts each other up.
Yes.
Speaking
absolutely.
of working on set, you guys should connect
We definitely
with her
should.
production company.
Hello, this is what we're doing here today.
I mean,
You should come and check out when we shoot a podcast. We should have you on.
I would.
Yes.
Do you have guests?
We are going to start.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
so
say the
we have-
time. I would love to.
We have our first interview. We're gonna use my best friend as like a guinea pig.
Sure.
So
I'm happy to be another guinea pig, so don't feel like you have to have me and like have things figured out. I love getting in the weeds.
You could be on an episode where we're trying this out.
I'm totally fine with that. I tell Sephora that all the time. I'm like, cast me for the videos that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, because that's my favorite. Like, I love to get in there and like.
I love that. Yeah.
But I think, just to piggyback off of what Brandon said, I think what takes what you're doing even to a greater level is that you are a boss bitch with your own production company, your own podcast, years of experience being a disc jockey, because I'm going to keep calling it that.
Radio host, disc jockey.
I think I'm going to get canceled. Disc jockey sounds like problematic. A radio host. Okay, so is someone who is at your level of bossiness and able to be vulnerable and say, rather, I am.
Okay, improv. That's the first thing you learn in improv.
You know?
I love that. Yes.
I pick up a few acting cues from my friend Brandon.
Okay.
That you're able to share your struggle through the process when you're already such an aspirational figure. That is what's inspiring. That's real inspiration. That's attainable goals.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much. And I feel the same about you. The more I get to know you, the more I'm like, oh, wow. Like, she wears so many hats. All of this makes so much sense.
But I'm like you, I get bored. So it's
Thank
good.
you. Yes, yes. But sometimes I feel, I think when I was younger, so I experienced divorce through my grandparents. Like, when I was really young, they were getting divorced and I didn't understand it. And because I didn't really see my parents because they were both working, I was like, what is love? Like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So because I didn't want to be at my grandma's house, which was where I was raised all the time, I really, I dove head in to academics. And that's where my overachievement quality started,
There's
right?
a little bit of escapism.
Yes, but also it was a way for me to get attention from adults doing their own things, right? So I feel like, and this is something, actually this, and tell me if you've ever felt something like this, where I have always struggled with different types of worthiness, right? I've always felt like the most important sense of worthiness is achieved worthiness, which is where I am an overachiever, right? Which is where I wear all the many hats, and then I'm like, but I'm just living my life. This doesn't mean anything, you know? And then, but I want to succeed, and succeed looks very black and white to me, right? All the accolades, all of that, yes. But then I struggle so much with inherent worthiness, right?
Yeah.
So I do a lot of, I had mentioned before, I do a lot of nonprofit work, and especially with like all the ICE raids that are going on and everything like that, I'm advocating for people who I don't know and saying that their lives mean so much because of their inherent worth, because they simply exist. And I don't want to think about borders, right? I want to think about people, mothers, parents, children, right, being together.
Yeah.
Yet when it comes to my own life, I don't understand that I am worthy for the simple matter of that I exist. So
You're gonna make me cry.
so it's like
That's deep. Yeah.
enjoy all of the accolades and everything that I do, but I'm still working on
You
the.
gotta practice what you preach, my friend.
Oh, girl, I'm over here like, let me cry. Like,
You got to practice what you preach. That is so powerful. And before you even started to say that, I was thinking this is cultural as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
This is
Yeah,
are you first
absolutely.
generation?
on my dad's side, yes. On my mom's side, I am second.
And I think that's a huge part of it as well. It's like my father came from Cuba, and he went from having a pretty great life that they worked really hard for over there to scavenging parking lots for coins for food when he came over to Miami. And, you know, growing up and hearing those stories, it instills something in you. Like you witness something in your parent or parents that shifts the way that you give to this world and the way that you create worth for yourself, because society, and goddamn, don't get us started on our current circumstances with the leadership in this country and the way that our communities and minorities are being belittled like they are worthless and they are nothing. And more than ever, we have to like stand up and say absolutely not. And so I'm really glad that you brought this up.
It's hard for people to see the humanity and
Yeah.
that younger person or that person who didn't get to see their mom very much because they were working when they were younger or they're, you know, it's just everyone has a story.
And what's your daughter's name?
Roxana. Well, we call her Rue because it's her middle
Rue.
name. Yeah.
How powerful for Rue to get to witness you doing this, to get to see her mom not only having her own business, but going to aviation school.
Yeah. She goes to protest with me too. Like, well,
She's gonna
the
be-
friendly ones.
Rue is going to be a powerhouse. And you know what? She's going to stand in her worth because she has icons like you and Sonia that she gets to look up to. And I think I've said this so many times on the podcast, but I stand by it. So many guests that I have on here, the universe somehow puts you in this seat. You are a cycle breaker. So many people who end up on this podcast, they're cycle breakers. They're breaking generational trauma. And you are breaking that trauma of like that lack of worthiness through the work that you're doing right now, through making the choice to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to aviation school and I'm going to own it while I'm in it. Like I might not be certified yet, but like I'm doing the damn thing.
I do need to share more about that because I feel like there's a lot of at least parents and especially like moms. And I know many single mothers that are like, I want to go back and I'm so scared because what's going to become of me? I'm so tied to the roles that I am, being a mom, having my career, that now throwing something else in the mix that I don't foresee could really change my future yet because I haven't dabbled into it. It's definitely like a very scary feeling.
Uncertainty is terrifying. It's so terrifying. And then when you're taking care of lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any children. I'm still TBD on whether or not I'm going to do that. But I look at parents, moms in particular, and I'm flabbergasted. I have no idea how you're functioning.
Yeah, I don't
How are
know
you
either.
standing right now? How are you
don't know.
breathing?
I don't
Like-
think about my schedule, girl, or else I'll just start crying. Like I just right now, I know I'm really dedicating myself to putting in the work that I know. Like I told my mom this the other day. I was like, Mom, by the time I'm 45, I really hope that one of these projects fucking makes it so that I can just like try to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
And she was like, tú lo vas a lograr. Like you'll make it happen.
Yeah, you
And
will.
I'm like, we'll see, girl. But
You already are.
If nothing else,
But-
though, at least I could fly away from everybody. I told my man that the other
She's
day.
out.
I told my man that the other day. I was like, I can't wait to fly so I can fly away from your ass. And he was like, you're fucking mean, dude. I was like,
Sometimes you gotta dish it, you know?
yeah, dude. It was so funny. I don't think I've ever clocked him that hard. It was like, damn.
He must think you're a boss for doing that too.
I think so. He
That's
wants me
really
to
cool.
teach him. And I'm like, I'm not certified. Like,
What inspired that though?
I
Was
think
there just
it's-
always a feeling of like, are you Amelia Earhart reincarnated?
Imagine. Well, I'm all amen. I think it's because, well, we do a lot of movies, and you know, every post-apocalyptic movie there's always like a disease or something, zombies people are running away from,
Sure.
right? And there's always a fucking plane no one ever knows how to fly.
Okay.
So I just want to be that girl.
So
that
what
knows
you're
how to
telling
fly.
me is that you will fly my ass out of here.
Yes, girl.
I get a
Yes.
seat on your flight.
At this point, it's so funny.
We're
'cause
coming.
Everybody says that. So I'm like, I need everybody to start thinking about what they're gonna barter with me. So like one of my friends, dude,
I've got so much highlighter.
so one of my friends was like, I'll be the chef. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, well, I could cook, but like, it'll be great to have another chef.
Yeah.
My other homegirl, God bless her soul, she was like, well, I don't really have like a survival quality. And then I looked at her, she's hot. I was like, you can creating the next generation.
You can recreate. You can reproduce.
Yes, I was like, you can procreate, girl.
Procreate,
I
that's
was
the
like,
word.
we're gonna need
That's
to expand
hilarious.
our community on whatever island. And she was like, you know what? I've never been this excited to be pimped out. Like, I was like, dude, this is ridiculous.
This is gonna be the most amazing post-apocalyptic plane ride
Yes.
of our life.
The end of the
that.
world is gonna look beautiful.
Right? I'm not trying to make the end of the world seem so much of a tragedy. We all know it's gonna be horrible, but it's like, okay, but we have a way out.
Oh my God, I love it so much. I gotta say, like, I am just so happy to get to know you and have this conversation. This flew by. Like, I cannot believe that was already an hour. Maybe we'll have to have a part 2 with you and Sonia together
Ooh, that would be
sometime. That would be
fun.
really fun.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But honestly, thank you, because you just stepped into meeting me for the first time and jumped headfirst. Like, I have a lot of guests on here who will get vulnerable, but usually there's like a little bit of a buttering up. And I really applaud you and admire the way that you just took this conversation and ran with it and like was vulnerable and shared yourself. And I am just so excited to hear these conversations on your podcast.
Oh my gosh,
And to
thank
hear you
you.
and Sonia screaming at each other. She told me like you were filming and one of you got up and walked out of the room or something. I was like, we're all here for it.
yeah, there's definitely like
Conflict is good.
If there's but if there's ever tension, it never goes unspoken.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
You know why I think I was so drawn to Sonia? I was real with her about this. I was like, I just started to peel the layers off of myself and find who I really am, like during the pandemic. So I'm 33, like I'm getting there. And I looked at her and I was like, this is why I was so drawn to you. Like it's her directness. I want to be more like that.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'm the same age. So like seeing someone like her, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like
Yeah.
this is really cool. Like this could be me, right? Like
yeah.
I can morph into this version of myself, and if it looks anything like Sonia, I'm actually really excited for life.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll feel so much more secure in my foundation and like not care about what other people are thinking on like such a I don't give a
We
fuck.
could all pick
level.
up we could all pick up a few tips and tricks from Sonia, whether
Yeah.
it be about directness or beauty.
Yeah, period.
This is actually a new podcast dedicated to Sonia. Sonia slaps, should we call it?
love that. Yes. Oh,
Shout out
God.
Sonia. But again, thank you for doing this. Where can everyone find you, your podcast, your production company, whatever you want?
The podcast Between Generations, we're on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. On IG, you can find me or any social media at Becca M. Guzman. And then I have a production company called Richie Rue Productions. So
Perfect.
yes.
Thank you so much for doing this.
And thank you for making me feel very safe. I really respect and admire people who know how to wear many different hats. So being able to be that person, but also not be afraid to hold emotion and space for others, I think is very, very beautiful and telling of the leader that you are. So
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Of course. Thank you.
More to come for us for sure. Period. I know that this episode did not disappoint. I had such a great time. It flew by. So many of them do. We always like reload the camera at 30 minutes and the episodes are usually about an hour. So like halfway point, I usually know. This one came up so quick. And I love these kinds of episodes where I get to know the guests with you all listening, because I just feel like as a listener to podcasts myself, those are the episodes I love the most. Because it feels like you're in the room, like you're a part of the conversation. It's real, it's raw. And that is exactly who Becca is, quite honestly. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you check out Between Generations, their podcast, her production company, the work that she does as a content creator, just the most multi-hyphenate in the best way. And another huge shout out and love for Sonia, who we both admire and look up to. And so I hope you check out her episode as well here on the Beauty Manifest. And as always, at the end of the podcast, we say things like subscribe, ring that bell notification so you get notified when there's new episodes. And please leave a review if you haven't. It really helps with just pushing our podcast up and like getting more eyes on it. And I also just selfishly love reading the reviews and what you have to say. Also, if you have criticism, I'm here for it. But still give me 5 stars. And don't hesitate also to DM me or comment on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. We do have, as part of the Beauty Manifest, the Beauty Anonymous with our resident therapist, Dr. Christine Coleman, where we unpack subjects that you write in about. So if there's something that you want to hear a professional speak to, whether it's body image or body dysmorphia, or what are some of the other things that we've done, imposter phenomenon, or also known as imposter syndrome, any topic that comes to mind that you kind of want us to double tap on, she is a professional and we can hear her expert point of view. I get really vulnerable. I'm happy to be the test subject and talk about all of these topics from my own life experience. So please take advantage and be part of our conversation. Write in, let me know what you like to hear. And until next time, I, as always, very much so appreciate your love and support and hanging out here with us. And I'll see you next time. Okay.